Welcome to this step-by-step tutorial on how to enable and configure projects. Projects provides an innovative configuration framework that can be used out of the box or further enriched based on your unique requirements while maintaining the ease and upgradability of a cloud-based planning solution. Projects can be tailored to your organization's specific needs within the context of our framework, yet still remains upgradable by Oracle. It allows you to enhance and mature your planning processes over time. In Enterprise Planning Cloud, navigate to the Configure page. The Configure page allows you to enable strategic modeling, financials, workforce, capital, and projects. I'll configure projects. The first step in the configuration process is to enable the features to include in projects. Here you select the types of projects you want to plan for and which predefined drivers, categories, and options you want to use. Let's start by focusing on internal projects. We select the option to identify financial and non-financial benefits for those internal projects. We will use employee labor rates to drive our employee-related expenses. This will help to drive labor costs for projects. You can map existing dimensions to establish a relationship between a dimension in projects and a dimension in another business process. You can also define additional custom dimensions or rename them. By linking dimensions between business processes, you don't have to rebuild a common dimension when you enable a new business process. After reviewing your selections, you can proceed with the enable process. When the status displays that projects was enabled successfully, log off and log back on to see your changes. You can now access projects from the home page. Notice that we can review project summary information, plan for project expenses, and conduct analyses. Here we have only 2 vertical tabs because we only enabled internal projects. Let's go back to the Configure page and see how we can incrementally enable more features. After I enable planning for contract projects, revenue options are available for selection. We will plan contract revenue for both directly input and driver-based values. We also want to directly input some expenses. After logging off and back on again, in Project Summary, you now see an additional vertical tab for contract projects. Now that Projects is enabled, we can take a look at some additional configuration options. These options can be managed easily by business administrators. From the Configure page, you can configure drivers, load business dimensions, and exchange rates required by your organization. You can add entities simply by loading them from a flat file. You can import from a local file or automate it. After reviewing your selections, click Import. From the Configure page, you can load information for projects, stages, and resource class the same way you loaded entities. Let's configure expense accounts. You can work with specific areas of the account hierarchy by selecting options from the category and component drop-down lists. From the Actions menu, you can add a new account or import and export members by managing it through Excel. I'll import members into my application. From the Configure page, you can add information for project properties, or you can load information the same way you loaded expense accounts. Since I only have one member to add, I'll add it rather than import from a file. I'll create a property for project category and assign it to the appropriate smart list. This will help us categorize our projects into different categories, such as information technology, new product development, digital transformation, and so on. Make sure to complete all required areas in the configuration. Finally, we do a refresh, which incorporates the configuration changes into the application. If you have existing data, you can import it when your configuration is complete. After the project's configuration is done, planners can begin entering information for projects. They can add new projects, enter assumptions for projects, and plan for project expenses. For more information on working with projects, take a look at the Entering Planning Data in Projects tutorial on cloud.oracle.com. In this tutorial, you saw how to enable and configure projects for Enterprise Planning Cloud. To learn more, visit cloud.oracle.com.